because of variants like that.
All right. It does happen. I'm going to play my tickets. I'm going to play my tokens. I've got a little bit of cash, but I'm going to leave it. I'm just so excited for football right now. It's hard for me to focus on DFS baseball. So I've been in full-blown football mode. So pretty soon we're going to have to get into that. Maybe we'll do a pretty giant segment next week. Well, no, I won't be on next week. So the week after that. But it's the Open Championship, so we're not going to have time to delve deep into it this time. I'm not sure when Adam's going to join us. He will at some point here. But anyways, let's see. What else do we have on this team? Let me go back. I got a little sidetracked here. Let me get back to my team. A couple other guys we took a shot on. You were up for a Kyle Gibson, Dylan Bundy, Cole Hamels. These were guys you kind of liked their possibility to come out of the shell a little bit. Bundy and Hamels. Bundy's injured now. I don't know if he was when we drafted him. Hamels, we're just hoping comes back and is that final piece.
Yeah, and Bundy had a rough start, his first one in quite some time. Which is okay. I mean, where we drafted him, that's still to be expected. We didn't expect him to be our ace, and it's okay. But Gibson had a really, really solid start, so I stand by that.
Gibson's fine. I mean, we basically drafted every single guy we drafted is positive. One strikeout an inning. So we definitely went after the strikeout guys.
We did a lot better on this draft than the first one.
Certainly did. Did you see I picked up Fernando Rodney for shits and giggles? There's no holds in this league, but obviously all the save guys have been ate up. And so I was like, you know what? Screw it. Rodney's there. He's getting the holds right now and has been said that he will be the first guys up when Doolittle can't go. And we all know that Doolittle gets hurt a lot. So I took a shot at him. What do you think of that?
Rodney has played on, every team in the...
Pretty close.
In the league.
He's 41 or 42 years old. He is entertaining. Back when he first came up, he was kind of known as kind of an asshole, not a good dude in the clubhouse, and it kind of completely changed around. I don't know if it started with the Tigers or before, but then he became really known as kind of a goofball and kind of fun and a clubhouse guy. I don't know when the switch was, but I've always enjoyed him. I used to sit out in that bullpen seats at Comerica in Detroit, and he always was kind of goofy with the fans. He'd always tip his hat and play a little bit more up than some of these other guys.
Yeah, I bet you my Tupac guy probably likes Fernando Rodney.
I bet he do. I'm pretty happy with our relievers, man. I mean, we jumped on Roberto Osuna, Felipe Vasquez as our main closers. We ended up picking up Ronis Elias, who is currently closing for the Mariners, and of course John Gant, who's the fill-in closer for the moment in St. Louis as they try to get their bullpen healthy.
Felt like we had training too, didn't we?
No, we passed on training and went Ozuna. We had our choice.
I got you.
Yep.
Fair enough.
We passed. So that's our team, man. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. We're currently up 7-3 against Andrea's squad. Of course, it goes through Sunday, so there's still time. But yeah.
This is. You know what? It's a shame because I feel like this team is solid enough that we would have competed in a Roto style league as well.
But if it would have been a Roto style league, I'd have thrown the can of beer across the room when I saw Jerkson Profar's 2 home runs today.
Yeah, you gotta. That is rough. Yeah.
But as we are, let me look at the live scoring. It is Wednesday. This runs through Sunday. We are. Where is the scoring? Where did it go? How do you look at the head-to-head? I see the players, but where's the stats? There's the stats. We are up 14-9 in home runs right now. So I feel better about missing those 2 homers.
It's dealable.
Yeah, we're up 45-24 in runs, 14-9 in home runs, 40-28 in RBIs, 7-0 in stolen bases. We're 30 points higher on the average. Her category she's got us beat in our ERA wins and saves. She's got 3 and 8 saves to our 1 and 2. Her ERA is better, our WHIP is better, and we have 26 more strikeouts. So I'm feeling pretty confident about week 1 for us, my friend.
Well, good. On the right track.
I dig it. All right, so moving on. Let's do a little shout out again. We are Draft for Upside. There is 4 of us, Adam and Mark and Chris and myself. We like to talk a lot of crazy things, mainly sports, a good amount of beer, and silly Twitter rants and whatnot. You can find us at draftforupside.com. DRAUGHT, like draft beer, the number 4, upside.com. I don't know that it's active right now. We're in the middle of switching a web page, but if you're listening to this and you want to go check it out, maybe it'll be ready for you by then. We are listening live to us if you are. If you're not, next week, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, please listen live. We are on the Lenny Melnick FantasySports.com, which is known as the Legend Sports Network. This is a full-blown internet radio station with programming solidly 5 days a week during the week with a sparse sprinkling of weekend shows. There is something on almost always. We have Lenny's daily podcasts every day at 9 a.m. during the week. We have got Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports several days a week right after him. JJ Sports Talk always around 2 o'clock Tuesday through Friday. Let's see, Wednesday at noon you have Hump Day at midday with Cam. You've got Money One is twice as nice, also with Cam, Monday through Friday at 5:30. Draft for Upside with John, Mark, Chris, and Adam at 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, with Fantasy Fan Sportscast with Easy Kill and Chris Allen rounding out Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Switch a little gears here, sir. NFL, the news of Melvin Gordon possibly demanding a new contract, a trade, or holding out, reminiscent of Le'Veon Bell last year. But does this man have the clout that Bell had, and do you believe he has the cojones to do what Bell did?
You know what? Maybe he does, because I don't think he's looking for. I mean, he's looking for, but I don't know what's going through his head. Like, I don't fault the guy for trying to get some more money. Specifically when I don't think he's that good. So, strike when the iron's hot. But, the running backs just, they don't seem to understand. Like, these guys go down and the rushing attacks don't miss a beat. You look at Pittsburgh, you look at a lot of these teams. I mean, look at how the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Look at the Patriots every year. I mean, you don't necessarily need to have this high-end running back, and you don't need to pay him a ton of money. It's a replaceable position. It's a position that doesn't last very long, and so I don't fault these guys for trying to get money and get paid. But if I was trying to become something, it wouldn't be a running back. That those days have passed, and they're talking about Dallas trade Zeke before a holdout, and there might be some truth to that. So I don't fault him, but I don't think he's going to get paid. I don't think he's that good.
Yeah, and the sad part is his peak years are gone, right? I mean, it kind of sucks. It's this double-edged sword, right? Because these guys all kind of fought. There's two different thoughts here that I feel. One, they all kind of fought to lower these rookie contracts, right? Because they're like, oh, the veterans need to get paid more, and they've put in their time. And the other thing is some of these other sports want these guaranteed contracts like football has, right? These big money guaranteed things. But that's the problem, is it's tough to take a guy who's been riddled with injury, who has probably the peak condition of his physical prowess is gone, to give these guys big guaranteed money. But that's what they fought for. And what they're kind of saying is, hey, I got all this talent, I'm going to put up these numbers. Well, now they're kind of making the opposite. Well, you should pay me based on performance. Well, it's hard to have it both ways.
Well, no, I mean, I think the issue that you have with these running backs is they have a dual-edged sword that they're dealing with. On one hand, they can preserve their career, play longer, and limit the wear and tear on their body by playing in a committee of running backs. But on the same token, if they do that, you're extending your career, but your earnings per year are going down because you're not putting up these gaudy numbers and you're not justifying huge contracts. So which way do you go with it? But again, these guys are completely replaceable. I mean, you look at some of the rushing attacks and the running backs that are in those teams. It doesn't matter who you plug in back there. You don't need to pay that position a ton of money. They're not going to be guaranteed money, and that's the problem that they have. I don't fault these guys, but when you have James Conner coming in and filling in for Le'Veon Bell, you have Baltimore continually having one of the best rushing attacks in the league, and doing it with guys that you've never heard of. Why pay these guys that money? I mean, look at all of the running backs that were successful in Mike Shanahan's system. And I don't even think it was the system anymore. I think he was just one of the first guys to not pay a marquee running back and play with guys like Monty Ball, Orlandis Gary, and a couple of these guys that rush for 1,000 yards. You didn't need a Willis McGahee. You didn't need a Clinton Portis. You didn't need those type of guys to put up those numbers. You could do it with just about anyone, and that's continually happening if the teams are, putting the right guys back there and putting the schemes in it. It doesn't need to be somebody special. So, while we dislike from a fantasy perspective and maybe even a fan perspective of the Lions, the way that Kerryon Johnson is treated in the offense by Matt Patricia, one of the things that's going to happen is that's going to extend his career because he's not getting those goal line touches and taking that beating. It's just going to preserve his career. A lot of guys like LeGarrette Blount take those hits. That's what he's for. Sucks from fantasy perspective, though.
For sure, yeah. I mean, it's changing always. I mean, we've seen the prominence of these big running backs go down and down over the last few years, and the true bell cow guys become more rare. It really just makes more sense on the team sense. And at the end of the day, it's about making money and it's about winning games for these owners, and they just don't care on the individual level.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're waiting for Adam to join us to talk golf. What else you got, buddy? Hit me. That's all the topics I had.
I don't know. It's kind of rainy over here in Florida. It's a little dark out. Not a whole lot going on. Not a lot going on. I do have my golf team already put together. I told you I was kind of afraid because there's at least 3 guys that you picked. The other 3 guys I'm pretty high on. So, I didn't go with any of the big priced high profile guys. There's no Brooks. There's no Rory. But I've got a couple staples of the show. A little Kuchar.
Yeah, you can stay on brand, my friend.
Yeah, there's some Ian Poulter.
That's my guy. I love him this week.
And I bet Adam will too if he ever decides to join us.
All right. Yeah, I don't see him yet. What I'm going to do here.
There he is.
There he is. He joined us. Perfect timing.
You guys talking golf?
No, we were just, we're talking about you, and we were talking about our love of Ian Poulter and his very fancy pants. And Chris put a lineup in, but then he's got second thoughts because he saw the lineup that I posted earlier today, and it was very similar, and it's freaking him out a little bit.
There's a lot of overlap.
Probably should.
All right.
We doing a league this week, or what's the deal?
You know what? I haven't set it up yet, but we should at least do a private challenge with us or something. I don't know. I've got 19 lineups, my friend. 19. What do you think of that?
My goodness. Going big this week, huh?
Yeah, and the quarter arcade, man, just balling out with my 19 quarters.
Okay. I mean, that's a lot of dough to invest right there.
That's right. It's big money. Big money, my friend. Hey, I got to hit the old little boys' room because I've had a few pops. And you guys can chat it out, or I can go to a musical break for about 4 minutes. What's your preference?
Let's go musical. I got the course breakdown ready to roll.
All right, I like it. Well, we are Draft for Upside. You are listening to us on the Legend Sports Network, found at LennyMelnickFantasySports.com. We are going to go on a 3-minute and 44-second musical break, and we will see you on the other side.
What happened?
Didn't you hear? We won. Hey,